What is going on, everybody? It's the Franz, and we're here for our Monday Night Raw review for October the 17th, 2022. On the road to Crown Jewel, we had ourselves Brock Lesnar, Bobby Lashley come face to face. That's actually how Monday Night Raw kicked off. We'll talk about that. The Good Brothers make their in-ring return on Monday Night Raw, and their challenge to a match is going to leave a lot of questions for a certain match coming up on that same exact day. Also, Control took on Candice LeRae and Bianca Belair. AJ Styles would take on Dominic Mysterio in one of the biggest matches in Dominic Mysterio's young career. See how all that went down. Elias makes a return, and in the main event, we had Seth Rollins versus Matt Riddle, and so much more. So we open the show, and immediately Brock, we don't even get no pyro, no nothing. We cut to 8 o'clock, and Bobby Lashley's going in the ring, and he says if Brock Lesnar has an issue with him, then he should fight. They should fight about it. He wants him to come out. He's calling him out. He's calling out Brock Lesnar to come. You got a problem with me? Let's fight about it. So Brock Lesnar does indeed come out after. It took about maybe 2-3 minutes. Then he finally came out. He heads outside. Bobby Lashley comes outside the ring. They has fights. They fight all over the place. Bobby Lashley spears Brock Lesnar through the barricade, the ringside, the barricade where all the ring announcers barricade and whatnot. Then he sends him over top of the announce desk. Everyone tries to pull him off. Well, they try to pull him off. He goes around the other side, spears him on top of the announce desk, and then ends up putting him spine-bustering through the announce desk before he's pulled away, and that is how Monday Night Raw started. Obviously, this match does eventually get announced later in the show, being at Crown Jewel, which we all figured was going to happen anyway. Bobby Lashley does have that win over Brock Lesnar thanks to Roman Reigns at the Royal Rumble earlier this year. So this is the one-on-one rematch that, they never really got to do anything in the Elimination Chamber because Bobby Lashley got taken out. So we went down the card. OC head out. Alpha Academy head out. Gallows and Anderson bring in the action. Gable and Anderson, I'm sorry. My feed kept cutting in and out during this match, so I really didn't get to see much of this match, unfortunately. This is, of course, the OC's first match back. They are still scheduled to finish up their commitments with New Japan Pro Wrestling going into Wrestle Kingdom 17 on January 4th of 2023. Basically, match went as you figured it would. Magic Killer by the OC pick up the win. 1, 2, 3. The Judgment Day come out. Mark Styles, Anderson, and Gallows with the too sweet, same old crap. Who hasn't seen that before? He says they thought they accomplished something great last week, but all they did was guarantee they would get cooked. Bella says he made the OC and will break them. He made this club, the Bullet Club, and he will break them. Then challenge them to a 6-man tag team match at Crown Jewel. AJ accepts, but says to do it tonight instead. And why are we waiting? We're in here. You're out there. Why don't we do this tonight? Unless you need to ask your mother, your three's mother, for permission. Of course, speaking about Rhea Ripley. Dominic tells him to shut his mouth unless he wants to be like his father. Styles calls Dominic a piece of trash and a punk for turning his back on his father and asks if he can walk the talk. He challenged him to a match before Rhea accepts on his behalf and says he will drop him limb for limb. He says he's not ready tonight now, but when he's ready in an hour, he will mop the floor with him. Styles says he's going to beat the piss out of him, and it will be too sweet. Now, I knew this match was going to happen. I figured they would pull this along and we'd get this to Survivor Series, but we're getting it at Crown Jewel. Here's the deal, and I haven't seen anything from the New Japan side. Anderson has to be in Japan on November 5th at 4 or 5 o'clock a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Now, there is a 6-hour difference between Japan and Saudi Arabia. That starts at, I believe it's at 4 or 5. So basically, I expect that Hikuleo versus if both matches are going to happen on the same night or the same day, Anderson is going to have his match against Hikuleo open up Battle Autumn, or be one of the first matches. Drop the championship to Hikuleo, probably, more than likely. The match will be over. Get on the plane, get out of the arena as fast as possible. Get on a plane, and probably a WWE private jet would be the only way I could see them doing this. Get on the private jet, and get to Saudi Arabia in time for Crown Jewel. Their match will not probably be opening Crown Jewel anyway, so if Anderson has to be there late into the show, and they're probably going to be if this is me, they're the next to last match, giving Anderson as much time as possible. Of course, Logan Paul versus Roman Reigns is the main event. OC versus the Judgment Day should be the next to last match, the semi-main, and gives Anderson enough time to get there, get his gear on if he's not his OC gear on, because he's going to be wearing his Bullet Club gear probably at Battle Autumn, if this is still happening, and you go from there. Going to be very interesting to see how that works out. I'm definitely watching Battle Autumn for sure. I'm not going to be watching Crown Jewel. I don't care about those shows. I don't care how good they're being booked. I don't support the Saudi government and all that shit, so I'm just going to sit there and watch Battle Autumn, do my streams on Twitch, and then go for the rest of my day. We get a video of the United States Championship match between Bobby Lashley and Seth Rollins last week. Rollins is headed to the ring. He's got himself a good old-fashioned promo. He celebrates the United States Championship win from last week. Welcome to the fans of Monday Night Rollins. Before introducing himself, he tells us all the haters to kiss his big, red, beautiful behind before telling us those who supported him to sing his song. He says tonight will be historic as he defends his title for the first time in the main event. He continues on and says he'll wipe the mat with Matt Riddle on face, and says it will be a strategic move for him to tap. It was a strategic move for him to tap out Extreme Rules. He says he did it for the fans. Ali comes out. Mustafa Ali, for whatever reason, comes out. He heads to the ring. He congratulates Rollins on becoming the new United States champion before saying Bobby Lashley promised him he would be next in line for a title shot. Here we go. First off, Mustafa Ali, you haven't done anything but have a match that Bobby Lashley could have easily put you away at any time. Get away with that one. And then you're going to come out here and expect me to care about you having a match against Bobby Lashley like this. Give me a fucking break. He says he understands that things change, but his challenge remains the same, and he still wants his title shot. Rollins asks Ali if he looks like Lashley and tells him to go back to the back of the line. He says Ali can either party with him or with the fans or leave his ring. He says he doesn't belong with them in here. Well, Ali takes off Rollins' sunglasses, says it's not going down like that. He says he's been the next big freaking problem for him if he doesn't get what he wants. And I'm like, why are we doing this? What has Mustafa Ali done to deserve a title shot? I want to know. What has Mustafa Ali done to deserve a title shot? He got into a pretty good match with Bobby Lashley, but that was it. He didn't do. I don't care about any of this. I do not care about Bobby Lashley versus Seth Rollins versus Mustafa Ali. Maybe if Mustafa Ali was on television winning matches on the likes against Chad Gable and Otis, Johnny Gargano, Kevin Owens. Where's Kevin Owens been? He's been off for about a month. Him carrying Monday Night Raw for the past few months. Definitely need to have a break from all that, I'm pretty sure. So, they brawl for a bit. Ali jumps from behind, fires 7 more right hands. Rollins gains the upper hand, sends him face first into the ring post, leaving him laying. He says, hit the music, and he walks out of there with his championship. We out see to see JBL's limo pulling up, and that'll be something we see later. Again, I don't know what they're thinking with this whole Mustafa Ali thing. He's been out for months. He's been gone for months. We haven't seen him in weeks. He had that one match. He had, at the start of the Triple H regime, he had that match with Cedric Alexander as the tag team. I thought, wow, this is a good thing. Another team to the tag team division. A team that can actually work well together. They had one match and then vanished. Then he wanted an opportunity against Bobby Lashley. Got it. They pulled the Darby Allin. They tried to do the Darby Allin Cody Rhodes thing where Bobby Lashley tries to put this guy away, and he refuses to quit until Bobby Lashley finally puts him away. Since they don't do time limits, they couldn't do a draw. And he gave Bobby Lashley respect, and he disappeared again for what? 3 weeks? So why the hell do I care about Bobby Lashley, about this guy wanting a title shot? He hasn't given me a reason to care about him getting a title shot. Give me a fucking break. That just doesn't make any sense. Why should anyone give a flying fuck about this guy? I don't know. So, Damage Control versus Bianca Belair and Candice LeRae. Okay. This was a really good match. It's four fine women in the ring. Of course, Bayley was on commentary, mentioning how she used to watch Candice LeRae on the independent scene before she was even in WWE. So she was there for a while. Then eventually she gets involved. Bianca Belair takes her out in the takes her Bayley and herself out of the equation completely. Contacts in, they hit the finish, which they never gave a name to. I have no idea what the hell it was. 1, 2, 3, and Damage Control picks up the win. Backstage to Kathy Kelly and Matt Riddle. Kelly asks for the response to Riddle, comments, and Riddle says he's gotten to know Rollins pretty well over the past few months. He says Rollins is like a cheap hoverboard and he can make all the excuses he wants, but he already beat him once at Extreme Rules. Then runs into Ali and says that he takes a lot of guts to stand up to Rollins and says if he wins, he gets a title shot he wants. And then we hear, They turn around and there's Miz clutching his knee, pretending like he absolutely got... he was selling his injury knee. He says that he's been looking for his shoulder for Loomis, but he slipped and fell. He says he is shot and he can't compete tonight. He tells them to get a doctor, and they oblige. Oh, good fucking grief. The classic old, my knee, type thing, and it's like, it's all fake, and we all knew that. Backstage, it's Judgment Day. Rhea Ripley turns around and sees Cora Jade. She asks if she will face Roxanne Perez on tomorrow in her picture poison. As Ripley says, she's in, and that is that. Bill introduces his new client as he makes his way to the ring. He says it takes momentous occasion for him to come back to Raw, and he says he has an announcement. He says that before he does, he apologizes for having to do this in Oklahoma, and he compares Oklahoma to Texas before ragging on the state, and makes fun of the fact that they got 50 points put up on them in the Red River Showdown a couple weeks ago. He says Rey Mysterio has left Raw, and Dominic has figured out that his father is one of the worst human beings on the planet. He says now space on the Raw roster, and he found the perfect person to fill in. He tells the fans to get on their feet and put their hands together and welcome the newest member of the brand, Baron Corbin. No more happy, no bum ass, no nothing. He is Baron Corbin. He comes out to new music. It still has that money sound to it at the beginning, but it's definitely new. Has a JBL-like aesthetic to the video board. Comes out, he's got new gear on. He's got a new vest. He's got a bowler hat. JBL tells the fans, look to say he is much bigger than Rey Mysterio. He's 3 times the size, 3 times Mysterio's. He asked for competition. Management gave him Dolph Ziggler. He says Ziggler wouldn't have made a cut in the Attitude Era and calls Corbin a champion in any generation. It says he is a future wrestling god. Okay. Dolph Ziggler versus Baron Corbin. This match actually was not bad. Dolph Ziggler is like one of those guys. He can have a good match with anybody, and he did here tonight. We get a bunch of bum-ass Corbin chants. Zigzag goes for the pin. Corbin kicks out. Ziggler goes for a super kick. Corbin blocks it, hits the end of days, and gets the win. He did also hit his version of the clothesline from hell in this match, which looked pretty good. And there's that. We head to the Miz being checked on by the doctor. He tells him not to touch it before Byron Saxton approaches and asks for an update. He says he didn't think he'll be able to compete. Saxton says he spoke to the custodians and saw him spill the water and sit on it. He tells Miz said he's very injured, and the fact that there's a custodial log, Byron Saxton says, that says the floor hasn't been mopped since last night. He says he has a huge lawsuit on his head. Johnny yells out the answer to the room that Dexter Lumis is nearby, and he jumps to the table, no problem. Gargano is in the doorway and says, I couldn't resist. Saxton looks at him and is like, man, you look fine to me, and you could be taking on Dexter Lumis tonight. Miz is like, my superhuman ability to heal myself has kicked in, and I'm fully healed now, and I'm gonna definitely, that's bad news for you know who. What are we talking about? Voldemort here? I mean, calm the fuck on. Is this Harry fucking Potter? It's Dexter Lumis. Just get over it. Back from break, we hear Omos and MVP. MVP says he wants to celebrate Braun Strowman, but Omos is far from ordinary. He calls him extraordinary and reveals they're headed to SmackDown on Friday. He says the monsters aren't real, but giants are. I mean, Andre the Giant, Giant Gonzalez. Yeah, giants are real. We know that. We had the video Bray Wyatt from SmackDown. Don't give a shit. We head backstage with the OC and Cameron Grimes approaches them and asks if they want to be his partners in NXT because he's getting tired of the schism. And Gallows is like, wait a minute, is this the guy with all the kizash, the big star, the millionaire, the millionaire? So yes, they're in for that, and they will be on tomorrow's show. WWE is trying super hard tomorrow. They want you to tune in to watch NXT over the AEW World Championship match, the Ring of Honor World Championship match, the Trios World Championship match for AEW, and there's one more match. There's one more title match. Apparently, there's 4. What was the other one? There's a 4th title match. I can't remember, but there's 4 title matches on the AEW. While NXT has to rely on the OC, Raquel Rodriguez and Gonzalez, and Rhea Ripley coming to NXT. AJ Styles versus Dominic Mysterio. I think he should get struck Mysterio name and just be Dominic for now. Not because it's like punishing him or anything. It's part of the story. He wants to forsake the Mysterio name. Why is he still being Mysterio? He could be Dominic Gutierrez, his shoot name. He could use his shoot name for all I care. Like, he shouldn't be Mysterio because there's nothing mysterious about him. It was a decent match. I mean, AJ Styles did best he could do with this guy. Obviously, the Judgment Day are out there. The OC are out there. They get into it to each other. The rest of the OC and Dominic and the rest of the Judgment Day start to get into a shoving match. The referee's in between them, allowing Rhea Ripley while AJ Styles tries to get in the ring to hold him back, allowing Mysterio to roll him up and get the 1, 2, 3. Dominic pins AJ Styles. Good on him. That is great for Dominic. It was his match against Edge felt like it was a lot better. His singles match against Edge, but this was definitely he learned a lot. In this match, I can tell you that right now, going up against a guy like AJ Styles, it could do nothing but benefit a guy like Dominic. We have backstage to see Miz and Johnny Gargano. Gargano says he knows the real story between them, and says if he wants to win this match, then he has to tell everyone the truth. Tell them the truth. He says he'll beat him and ban him forever. Before Gargano says he can't say he didn't warn him and walks off. Dexter Lumis heads to the ring, and I have a problem with this. Why is Dexter Lumis coming out to music? Dexter Lumis technically doesn't have a contract. Dexter Lumis should be walking out to silence. That's how this works. He doesn't have a contract. After he would beat The Miz and sign his deal, then you give him music. Why does he have music? But we don't get the match as Lumis heads to the ring out of nowhere. Miz crashes him with the chair, beats him up repeatedly, and then hits the skull clutcher finale to end all that. We head backstage to Damage Control and Byron Saxton. She asks what's next for them before Bayley says they're tired of people asking what's next rather than focusing on the present. They say they got rid of Alexa Bliss and Asuka before Bayley says she's not letting Bianca Belair off that easily. He says she'll show up her what it's like next week when she's in control. So Bayley versus Bianca, 2,795th time next week, not for the title. The Miz and Johnny Gargano are chatting. Gargano says that it was a bad move because that won't stop Lumis. He says that he knows what happened, and Lumis just wants whatever you promised him. And Miz cuts him off there. He asks Gargano what he's wearing. He says, "I just wore it for dramatic effect. It's a little whistle. It's one of those referee whistles." He says if he doesn't come clean, he will blow the whistle on him. He goes, looks like he's about ready to blow it. Miz walks off, and so we have another wrinkle to the Dexter Lumis and Miz thing. Even though we don't know exactly why Miz is being stalked and being attacked by Lumis, but we know now that he promised something to Lumis and then reneged on that promise. So that is why Lumis is attacking him. Does it have to be a contract? I don't know. But whatever the promise was, he broke it. And Miz is going to pay for it one way or another. Elias comes out. He says his brother's career was cut short, a.k.a. he's gone, he's dead, he ain't coming back. He says normally he'll just play the guitar, but tonight he wanted to do something special with the keyboard. He has a special song for you guys here in Oklahoma City. He goes to play, but Matt Riddle comes out, and I'm like, here we go again. Elias is going to be doing this for the next year and a half or so. He brought Elias back out to do what? Come out, try to play a song, and get interrupted. Matt Riddle's like, no, man, no, I'm not here to interrupt you. I'm a huge fan of you. He talks in this thing. He asks Elias if he wants to hit his bong. Ha ha ha. What? Nudge, nudge, wink, wink. Says everyone knows WWE stands to walk with Elias. Elias says he appreciates that and he's fans. He tells him to take a front row seat while he plays. Riddle asks if one day they can play together. And Elias says yes. Riddle takes a seat and Elias starts playing. Riddle does a little bit like he's like slowly tapping his bongo because he had a bongo with him. Before Seth cuts him off and makes his way down the ring, and Elias is not happy. And then we go to break. We come back. Matt Riddle versus Seth Rollins for the United States Championship. The only time I could ever remember Elias did not get interrupted was at SummerSlam on the pre-show 4 years ago, I think it was, 3-4 years ago. It was pre-pandemic, obviously, but it was like I think it was the first Survivor Series of SummerSlam pre-show that Elias was on. He comes out, he plays this song, and nobody interrupted him, and he actually got to play for the entire crowd. And that was the only time I can remember Elias not getting interrupted. We've seen it before, and this is what you brought Elias back for, is just to do the same old thing. The story of this match is Elias it looks like he's coming for Seth Rollins. He gives him a cheap shot on the outside for whatever reason. Towards the end of the match, Seth Rollins goes outside, decks Elias. Matt Riddle looks like he has Seth Rollins where he wants, looks for the RKO. At that time, Elias comes in. Seth Rollins pushes Riddle into Elias. Matt knocks Elias out of the ring. Digs curb stomp to Matt Riddle, 1, 2, 3, and Matt Riddle gets beat by Seth Rollins. It's no in small part to Elias. Elias comes back into the ring. He eats another stomp. Seth Rollins is going to use his title belt and stop Matt Riddle one more time. And then, before he can do that on the title, Mustafa Ali comes in, beats him up, and sends him running out while he's screaming, "I told you I'm going to be your big effing problem." And the show goes off the air just like that. So, Seth Rollins is becoming a marked man by a lot of people. Matt Riddle still wants a piece of him. Elias wants a piece of him now. He wants a piece of him. So the United States Championship feels like a big fucking deal right now. Main eventing the show. 3 guys wanting a piece of Seth Rollins. 3 guys wanting to be the new United States Champion. This is a good sign for the United States Championship. The next thing, at least we got a little bit more wrinkle that if Miz doesn't come clean very soon, Johnny Gargano's going to have no choice but to say exactly what it was. And I can tell you right now, it's probably going to be something that is absolutely just like, really? That's all? Other than that, Raw was just, I know Triple H was out with COVID. He got tested positive with COVID, so Road Dogg was running the show. I'm pretty sure he was on the phone with Triple H the entirety leading up to the show and probably doing the show as well. But that is all of your show tonight. Hit that subscribe button, comment down below, like or dislike this video. Find me on Minds at the France Club. Find me on twitch.tv/the France Club. And find me on Instagram at the France Club. And I'll see you guys on tomorrow for AEW on Tuesday. Tuesday night AEW. Until then, my name is the France, and I'll see you guys later.